I'm gonna teach you how to stop making people's opinions your problem, because at some point, society has made everyone's problems theirs. Lock in. I'm gonna teach you how to mind your business. At some point in your life, you have fallen victim to this. You care way too much about what another person is doing. Somebody's wearing something you would never wear, believes in something you would never believe, spends their money in a way that you would not, lives their life differently from you, and suddenly, you feel personally responsible for letting them know that you don't approve. But before you comment, criticize, or blame a person for what they've done, I want you to ask yourself, why have I made their choice my emotional responsibility? The reality is you are uncomfortable that a person can choose to live freely. So instead of regulating that discomfort, you decide to regulate that other person. Fair warning. I'm not trying to teach you how to be passive or turn a blind eye to wrongdoing. If you definitely see something that doesn't look right, call it out. We're starting off right away. We're using 3 big questions that are going to help you able to identify where you fall short. Does it affect me? Half the time we notice something and then we automatically make it our concern. I specifically made a video where I was wearing a bonnet in it, and someone made a comment about, why are men always wearing bonnets? They're taking them all away from the women's shelves. Now women have no bonnets at all to wear. Why aren't all the other men in this comment section saying something about this? That is just an example that happened to me. However, many of us can see this in other different examples. See what happened here and analyze it for yourself in your own situation. You saw something that you didn't like, and then you invented a larger problem so it would justify why everyone else should care. Because see, for this person to say, I personally don't like men wearing bonnets, that doesn't sound powerful enough. So now women have been deprived of bonnets everywhere. And I want you to try to see this in yourself, because this is what a lot of people do. They turn, I wouldn't choose this, into nobody should choose this. I would never wear that becomes nobody should wear that. I would never spend my money on that because you are a bad person for spending your money on that. That religion doesn't make sense to me becomes that religion is so false and fake. But your preference only tells us what you would choose. It doesn't tell us what everyone else should choose. So the next time you're faced with an opinion or someone else doing something, you need to ask yourself, does this actually affect my life? Does their belief force me to believe it? Does what they wear affect what I wear? Does their hobby stop me from enjoying mine? Does their purchase come out of my account? Because sometimes the most emotionally intelligent thing you can do is notice something, acknowledge it, dislike it, and keep moving. You do not have to turn every internal reaction to another person's emotional burden. Is anyone actually being harmed? This is where a lot of people start to get confused. They feel uncomfortable about something and immediately assume that that discomfort has now caused harm to everyone else in the vicinity. They are so convinced that their discomfort is evidence that something wrong is happening. But it isn't. Someone making a different decision that may challenge you, offend you, or confuse you, or make you question your own choice. Those are things that can happen, but those feelings are not automatic proof of harm. Take, for example, someone around you or someone you see online is practicing a different religion. That is different. That is a difference between you and that other person. Someone uses religion to harm, control, or abuse another person. That is harm. Someone wears clothes you would never wear. That is difference. Someone deliberately using clothing to harm or put down another individual, that is possible harm. Someone lives a lifestyle that you wouldn't normally choose. That's difference. Someone pressures you into doing something or making you want to do something that violates your boundaries. Now it concerns you. So the question here isn't, do I agree with this? The question is anyone being abused, exploited, threatened, or directly violated? Minding your business does not mean ignoring wrongdoing. It means refusing to manufacture wrongdoing because of difference. And some of you need to hear this loud and clear. Being offended is not the same thing as being harmed. Sometimes you're simply experiencing a world that doesn't reflect back to yours. You are seeing a difference in lifestyle and choice and behavior, and all of a sudden your world gets threatened to the point where you feel like this is an actual problem. It's not. And I need you to know that that is okay. The world does not have to live like you or be like you in order for you to feel secure in it. Was my opinion invited? Okay. You are allowed to have thoughts. You are allowed to dislike something. You are allowed to think, that looks strange. I would never do that. I don't agree with that. That belief makes no sense to me. But understand, not every single thought needs to be a comment. Every feeling does not need to be a confrontation. Every opinion does not deserve an audience. Take, for example, your friend asks you, specifically you, okay, what do you think about this person I'm dating now? Do you like them? Now, your opinion was invited. Be honest, be respectful, say what you see. But if a stranger posts their partner and you decide to make comments on their appearance, absolutely nobody asked you. You're not minding your business. You simply felt entitled to make your reaction their responsibility. Or someone buys something really expensive online, something like that's outrageous, maybe to you. And you go comment something like, okay, you don't need that. You definitely didn't need to buy that thing. You know, you kind of totally wasted your money. That doesn't make you wise. It makes you strangely invested into another adult's bank account. Minding your business is understanding that silence doesn't mean you lost. It simply means that you recognize the situation does not require you. And here's a deeper realization, okay? A lot of people criticize harmless choices because those choices make them question themselves. A person dresses so freely and it makes you think about how you're fearful of being judged if you wore a certain thing. Someone's chasing an unfamiliar or an unsafe career, and you start to think back about how you decided to play it safe and you didn't want to do the thing you really wanted to do because you thought the prospects weren't there. A person expresses their fate confidently, and it makes you start to think about how you're not sure about yours. You're not sure about what you believe, or you're not sure you don't believe. Someone spends their money on something they genuinely love, and it irritates you. It makes you mad because you wouldn't want to do that for yourself. You would feel guilty for doing that for yourself. So instead of asking, why are they doing that? I want you to start asking, why does them doing that cause such a strong reaction in me? Because sometimes you are not trying to correct them. You are trying to silence something that awakened inside of you. That doesn't automatically make you a bad person. It just means you have more work to do for yourself than you realize. And it's not about them. It's about you. You have work to do. Now listen, if you are on the receiving end of this thing and people are constantly making fun of you or criticizing you for the choices you make, you do not have to defend every harmless choice you make. Someone says, I would never wear that. Then say, okay, don't wear it. That's a waste of money. Well, good thing it wasn't your money. I don't understand why you would believe in that. That's okay. You don't have to. And sometimes guys, you can say nothing because someone manufacturing a problem doesn't automatically mean you have to resolve that problem. It's their problem. You do not have to prove to anyone that your life is acceptable by you. Your choice does not require unanimous decision, unanimous approval to remain your choice. So before you speak on someone else's life, I want you to ask those 3 questions. Does it affect me? Is anyone actually being harmed? And was my opinion invited? If the answer to all 3 is no, you don't need a better argument or a discussion. You just need to mind your business. Maturity is not agreeing with everything you see. It's understanding that you can actually dislike something without having the desire to not make it exist for someone else. Not every thought needs to be a comment. Not every feeling needs to become someone else's problem. And not every difference requires your correction. Sometimes growth as an individual is seeing someone live harmlessly in a way that you can't, and still continuing on with your day. As always, I'm Cam. I'll see you in the next one. If you're the type to necessarily comment on everything you see, this is for you. Hello, governor. If you watched to the end of that video, I love you, by the way. Okay, current stats. We hit over 200K followers on TikTok, over 100,000 on Instagram, and we officially hit 10K on freaking YouTube. Insanity! That is so bizarre. I've loved and enjoyed talking to every single one of you. I promise you I see the comments, and I'm trying every single day to make time and respond to them in case there's anything important. So if I haven't gotten to you, I promise I will. And NoR3MAK.com live sessions are there. If you want to talk to me one-on-one, I'm more than happy to have those conversations with you. If you want to chat or a call, bookings are there. Go make one. They've been going crazy. I've been loving talking to the new people. But guys, I'm just a regular guy trying to make an impact on the world. I'm a regular guy making an impact on the world. I love y'all. Stay blessed.